Hi there and welcome to another episode of Access Granted. I'm your host, Sam Davies. I'm the marketing manager here at Ingenia. I look after all things marketing, and joining me today is our head of sales for the EMEA region. This is Roscoe Baker. He's here to talk about security cards with us and all the features that you can find on something like your driver's license, which is always living in your pocket. Roscoe, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you get up to on a daily, and then we'll get into things.
Thanks very much, Sam. It's great to be here. I'm Roscoe Baker, and I've been super looking forward to this day. It's been on the cards for a few weeks now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been trying to get it in the calendar.
Date in
You're
the
obviously
diary.
a busy man.
Yeah, and it's really good that it's finally come around. And
Definitely.
there's so many topics to talk about in the card industry, and being one of the most key manufacturers in the industry.
Yeah.
There's so many topics we could have talked about,
Yeah,
but
very much.
it's been we singled one out, and I'm sure we'll bring many more to the table. But I'm sales manager for the EMEA region, and I look after that sort of section of the business, that vertical of the business.
Yep.
And a lot of exciting things have gone on in the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had some major developments in just the European region. But I mean, for those that don't know, obviously EMEA, that's covering more than just Europe. We're talking Europe, Middle East, Africa, and of course, Asia as well, more
Yeah,
recently.
right, yeah.
So tell us about the most exciting news, which was our move that happened in Europe, and how's that affected things on the daily?
Yeah, thanks, Sam. It's been great. Obviously, the European region and extending into the Middle East and Asia is a massive catchment area to go after. And we're lucky to have been established in the industry for a very long time now. First established in 1971. So we're very well established. So we're the go-to for a lot of card manufacturing for people all over the world. And there's been some rapid growth in the last 5 years. We were in one location, and now we've moved to another location as of about 2 months ago. Probably people would have seen on social media.
Yeah, definitely. I know you and I did a short announcement, but I mean, I think we kind of glossed over the real reason for that move, and that was we just outgrew where we were.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We simply couldn't continue to operate at the scale that we are in the place that we were.
No, yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the location where we are now is substantially larger than where we were. It's actually only about 5 to 10 minute drive from the old location, which is really handy. But it's about quadruple the size of the old place, which has allowed us to seriously hold much more substantial stock holding.
Yeah,
which has been great.
that's major firepower.
So the bulk of the manufacturing of actual cards itself still goes on in the UK on our two main big production sites. But they then get channeled through the Netherlands warehouse onto the customer. We serve over 20 countries in Europe, and also that's for the pre-printed side. But then for the stock holding side, that's all in the Netherlands. So when people place an order for whatever product they see on the web store, they'll get dispatched same day.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been our offering for quite some time now. And it's great that we can still uphold that even at the scale that we now find ourselves dealing. So it's a huge win, definitely.
Absolutely. And all the advancements that you've been heading up with the web store has been really good as well, like bringing that forward, modernizing it, and the stock holdings of all the different locations in the UK and in the EMEA region and the US region is all available to see on the website to our trade reseller partners. And so it's really useful. So whether our customer is in the Netherlands or France or Sweden, Belgium, wherever they are, Middle East, they can still go to that one-stop shop in our web store, see the prices, product, data sheets, stocks, holdings, and then get it next day.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a big deal, definitely.
Yeah. And our European customers are dealing with a European entity, so that makes things even easier as well. There's no customs, paperwork, taxes, duties. So that's nicely hopped around that problem.
Makes life easier all round.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay, so we're obviously here to talk really about security cards. And today we've got a few things to cover. We want to go over all the major features that you find on your typical security ID. This could be passport, driver's license, national ID card, something like that. But we want to delve into sort of the intricacies of each feature, like, what makes them sort of hard to replicate, what makes them hard to spot, and also why it's important that a document would have multiple features on it. So just with your insight, Roscoe, obviously you've been in this game a little bit longer than I have. What is the purpose of a security feature on a card, just at its base?
Yeah, it's a big subject, and it's funny really because a lot of people just look at a security feature card.
Yeah.
They see a photograph on it, they match it to the person in front of them, and that's it.
Mm.
But the reality of it is it couldn't be further from the truth. There's so many layers of security on a security feature card, like a government ID or driving license,
Yeah.
that's designed to protect the organization and the individual, him or herself.
Yeah.
And identity fraud as a whole has become so much more sophisticated over time.
Sure.
What fraudsters have access to has really increased, like printers and software and everything like that. And we've had to move with it to really ensure that we stay up to date, and that's where layered security really would come in.
Yeah, and when we talk about layered security, we're basically talking about multiple features on the same card that makes it harder and harder to replicate. And I suppose Ingenia is kind of quite well placed to talk on this subject because, as you mentioned, we've been in the game for so long that, and as a manufacturer at the scale that we are, security is kind of something that we've done now for so long. We've almost evolved with that modern advancement. We've kept up with it and in some cases pioneered it.
Yeah. Layered security is so important, really. So, for example, rather than relying on one security feature for a card, you can rely on 3, 4, potentially 5 on your card. So it's a anti-counterfeiting measure that can be taken, so that if a fraudster manages to replicate one of them, he's very unlikely to have the access to the resource, machinery, expertise, and the specialist equipment, which is very expensive, by the way.
Exactly.
To be able to replicate all of them. It's very like when you're protecting your house or property. You don't just have one lock. You have a mixture of security features.
Very true.
You can have cameras, you can have locks, you can have alarm systems.
Exactly.
And laser beams and all sorts of gates, electric gates, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't just go to bed at night and just lock your door, do you? You rely on other things as well. It's a bit like that in the security card world.
Yeah. So just one other thing then before we sort of get into the features themselves, I think it's worth talking about the differences between some of these features. So for someone who's maybe not in our industry, can you define for us what the difference is between an overt and a covert security feature?
Yeah, sure. It's a good question. And so an overt security feature is something that you can see with your naked eye.
Right.
So you'll be, when you pick up a card, you'll be able to identify that card has got some security features on it. So typically that would be something like a hologram, hollow image, a hollow design, or something like OVI ink, which is got a color shifting ink.
Yeah.
And then covert is something that you can't see with your naked eye.
Sure.
So that'd be something like microtext and invisible UV features like that. Yeah, but we can delve into them.
Yeah, and again, I think you mentioned it a moment ago, but like the specialist equipment and having that access, that is also a part of detecting those covert features.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so covert, it would take more specialist equipment to then recognize it. So we'll hop into it when we talk about invisible UV, but you have to have an ultraviolet light to detect that.
Absolutely.
So you can have a card with these covert features, but if you don't have the equipment to identify them, then you might as well not have them. It's not going to be secure.
Yeah, absolutely. And this goes back to what we were saying about the access being the barrier to a fraudster. So, if it's simply too expensive or too difficult to get their hands on this equipment, then counterfeiting a card is now an impossible task.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Should we hop into our first feature then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right then, Roscoe, let's talk about the very first feature then today, holographics. Why don't we dive in and you can explain what that is and the purpose it serves.
Yeah, so thank you. Virtually everyone has seen holograms on driving license,
Yep.
government ID, passports, so on. And it's they're very clever things.
Mm.
They when you hold, if you've noticed it, when you hold a card in your hand and look at a hologram, when you move it around, it appears to move, change in color, or reveal different patterns.
Yeah.
Which is a nice feature, but it's actually a very highly secure feature. Many people might think it just there to look impressive and make the card or credential look more sophisticated or official, but that couldn't be further from the truth, really. The manufacturing equipment that goes in to make those holograms and originate them and apply them to the card
Yeah.
is really high level and sophisticated.
Yeah, that's actually something worth mentioning is origination. So, the same hologram that appears on your driver's license, let's say it's from a particular year, it's going to be different to one that was so ever many years ago. That'll be true for, national identity cards across different countries, passports and things. That's very much a very good way of safeguarding against fraud. It is by sort of refreshing the hologram that ends up on the document.
Yeah, definitely. And often, Ingenia does so many different schemes and projects with governments all around the world.
Yeah.
And typically, the contract is between 3 to 5 years.
Right.
And then at that break point, we'll then redesign that hologram with their design, just so that it really sort of throws all the leaves up into the air again for any fraudster trying to potentially do some harm with their negative intentions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's such a simple thing. Just give it a quick refresh, and then, like you say, anything that's in circulation that shouldn't be is suddenly completely invalidated. So it's a really good safeguard, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I think when fraudsters do try and replicate these things, holograms is probably one of the first ones that gives them away.
Right.
Because when they're trying to replicate what we're doing, it can be as small as sort of look like a shiny sticker sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it lacks movement when you change it.
Right.
So you won't see those designs moving, and even lack color. It can look quite flat. So that's a bit of a giveaway. But it does come down to the training of the people that are checking these documents to spot these things, which we have so many different government projects, and we provide that training as well as part of the package.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like you say, it's just as key. If people aren't looking for it, might as well not be there.
Yeah.
One other thing then is just the process of applying a hologram to a card. Now, what a fraudster might not know to do or might not be capable of replicating is the stage in which that hologram is applied. Can you tell us a little bit about the phase of the production process that happens at and why that's important?
Yeah. It can be done subsurface underneath the lamination, which means it sort of caters for overprinting of the card at a later stage, because often we produce a lot of we produce into the millions of cards for a country, for example, for a government ID or a driving license, and then they don't know who's going to then pass their driving test, for example.
Exactly, yeah, they'll be personalized at a later stage.
So where we do subsurface holograms means that a laser printer can then go over the top and not obstruct the hologram at all, which is that's a nice feature that we can do. And it also means it's more durable as well, because it doesn't rub off on the surface of of the card.
Brilliant. No, that's great. It's a lovely bit of insight, and again, it's the kind of thing that our audience would really need to look out for. Great stuff, Roscoe. Well, that was holograms. Fantastic bit of insight. So why don't we talk next about microtext? Give the audience a little bit of an explanation, and we'll delve into it as much as possible.
Yeah, sure. So microtext is another feature that we apply a lot to these security feature cards. It's basically what it sounds like. Text printed so small that it can't be seen with the naked eye.
Absolutely.
And it appears more like just one line. So it can be like a a line incorporated into the design of the card, sort of thing,
Sure.
making up something else.
Yeah, I think we read a lot about it being applied in maybe the border of a card, or somewhere that you need to know to look, because it's so small. Like you say, it could be hidden as part of design. It might be that without a piece of equipment like a microscope,
Mm.
you aren't going to detect it without really looking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's interesting because just yesterday I was looking at some cards coming off the production line in our
Sure.
secure facility here in Bristol,
Yeah.
and it had these features on it, and one of them was microtext, and
Right.
it just looks like a complete solid line, just a
Right.
very faint line.
Yeah.
But then looking at it under a microscope, you can see that it's clearly visible is text, and you can read it.
That's great.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is we actually incorporated deliberate spelling errors as well, which is another kind
Clever.
of security feature that's woven into the microtext
Yeah.
feature as a whole. So it'll be a deliberate spelling error.
Mm.
So that's just another, if they think, if fraudsters think that they've mastered the microtext, they probably haven't mastered the deliberate error as well.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
what the people, like the receptionist or the government official or the person on the door is looking out for, that's what
They know to look for
yeah,
the
that's
error
right.
rather than the text itself.
Yeah, yeah,
No, absolutely. And I mean, it's just another way of making something like that, which sounds so simple on the surface,
Mm.
like just even more secure than it is.
yeah. And it's so hard to replicate microtext on basic machinery like a desktop card printer.
No chance.
You wouldn't be able to do it, and even when it does get small, it gets blurry. So it's an
Yes.
immediate giveaway, really.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think that's worth mentioning again. We've said it already, but manufacturing at scale, that is the only true way to achieve some of these features that we're talking about here today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I'd say it's a relatively inexpensive feature to add to the card as well.
Hmm.
It's not as expensive as adding a whole hologram or OVI color shifting ink or invisible UV. It's something that we actively encourage our clients to go for because
Sure.
it doesn't add much to the price, and it's a really useful feature.
All right, so next up we have kind of a fun one, I suppose. Invisible UV ink. Everyone's kind of seen the movies where the characters using the black light to see the hidden message or something like that. And I know this is in a similar vein, but let's talk about it in terms of security then. Why don't you take us through it, Roscoe, and we'll delve in.
Yeah, sure. It's probably one of my favorite security features.
Okay.
I reckon, just because it's quite geeky and different. Sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I can remember when I was right down to when I was a little kid, I used to have like a UV pen and write something on the wall or something, and then you have your UV lamp and you can see it, sort of thing, and it just felt quite cool. But
Yeah.
now we're doing it like on the weekly basis. It's a really interesting thing. But
Hmm.
basically, it's under normal lighting conditions, the features are completely invisible on a card.
Sure.
But when illuminated with a UV lamp or UV light, pen, torch,
Yeah.
then the features suddenly become prevalent. Like you see logos, patterns, serial numbers,
Yeah.
and loads of other different graphics that can be incorporated, and even different colors within the UV as well. So when you shine that torch on it, you get a variety of different colors and all that sort of thing, which is really hard to replicate.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool one. Like I've seen cards where when the light is shone on it, the ink shows up as 3 different colors.
Yeah.
And again, goes back to what we say about access to that kind of technology or equipment.
Mm.
A fraudster might be able to apply one kind of color, but maybe not all 3.
Yeah, that's right. And many organizations can love this because some so whoever is checking the verifying the documents on entry, all they need to be equipped with is like a UV lamp pen, can fit in their pocket when they're not using it.
Exactly.
And it's a really easy way, quick, simple, very effective, cost-effective way of verifying that who is coming through that door and wanting access to a building, for example, is the person they say they are. And it's very hard to replicate.
No, definitely. I think a cool thing about it as well is some of the designs that can be incorporated. You mentioned obviously logos and things like that, but it goes beyond. Like, if you're talking a national identity, I've seen it where they incorporate maybe part of the country's flag into the design and things like that. Can you speak to maybe like how intricate these designs can get, because I know that obviously precision printing is so sort of simple for us because we do it on the daily, but maybe the audience might not understand just how detailed you could get with one of these things.
They can get really detailed, yeah. I've seen cards that it covers a huge section of the card,
Uh-huh.
like 3/4 of the back of the face with
Wow.
a big logo, or something like that. Or
Yeah.
you can get something down to the size of some numbers, like a serial number.
Right.
So it can be really intricate, and you can have it in different spots around the card,
Yeah.
face and reverse. And so we actively work with the customer,
Of course.
and almost on a consultancy basis. Like, they tell us what they're thinking. We go back with we have a whole studio here
Yes.
that can mock up visualizations of what it will look like, and often we go back and forth 5-10 iterations before we get to something that the customer is perfectly happy with.
Absolutely.
And that's really where we try and help the customer
Right.
get it as secure as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we say it a lot about our service, but we very much we're meant to be in an advisory capacity. Like, we're not here to just sell you it because it tacks on value to the job. Like, that's not. If the goal is security, then a layered approach, multiple instances, and like the recommendations of a professional is going to get you far further.
Yeah. And one of the biggest advantages is it disappears completely.
Right.
So someone might not even realize that it has it on the card.
Exactly.
That's trying to replicate that card.
Yeah.
And then they go to try and use it, and that's where it
Falls short.
Where it falls short. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also when it's photocopied, it doesn't come up as well. So
Of
of course, they
course.
might get hold of a genuine card, try and photocopy it or replicate it, and that also doesn't show up. So it's something that's really useful.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great tool, and obviously we see it all the time. And if anybody's got access to a UV light at home, just whip out your driver's license and see what's on there, because there's some really cool stuff that you wouldn't know about otherwise.
Yeah, the UK driving license, for example, if you shine your UV torch on that, it illuminates the car. It has like a beam going out of it for those headlights.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really fun.
It's pretty nice feature.
Yeah, it's a good one, definitely. Okay, so we're getting into the last couple here. Next one up, we've got OVI ink. So what does it stand for, first of all, and what's it all about, Roscoe?
Yep, it's another technology that gets widely used, and what we do day to day. It stands for optically variable ink.
Okay.
Yeah. So the beauty of this is that it's an ink that can change color. So it can go
Yes.
from green to red, blue to purple, yellow to green, and it adjusts when you move the card.
Yes.
Yeah, from side to side, or
It's like the
front
angle
to
of the light, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a refractional thing, and it can go on top of the card, as a on top of the laminate, or we can do it underneath the laminate of the card. So it gets printed on, and then a lamination film applied over the top, and then that actually is better for user wear and tear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, it protects it from wearing off quite so fast.
Yeah.
And OVI is another overt feature. So this is one that's detected with the naked eye. There's no fancy equipment involved here. So it's a very quick, at a glance, whoever it may be, the passport controller or the police officer that's just pulled you over can have a quick check of your driver's license and know that it's legit.
Yeah. The beauty of OVI is something that can be seen very quickly and easily at a glance. And it's indeed a overt security feature. And you don't need specialist equipment to see it, but you definitely need specialist equipment to apply it.
Right.
The application of it is quite complicated, and it has required significant investment.
Sure.
For the projects we've taken on, and even investment into skilled users of machine operators to be able to do such a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that does, again, it goes back to what we keep saying about manufacturing at scale. Your average user of these sorts of things, they aren't going to know what they're doing. Whereas if you've got a specialist technician that has that experience, then they can achieve so much more.
It is genuinely so hard for a low level fraudster to be able to replicate this with the specialist commercial printing that's involved in this.
Right.
And that's where we specialize. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we have invested millions into new manufacturing equipment.
Yeah.
We've got 2 sites in the UK now instead of 1.
Yeah.
Significant investment has gone into the Bristol HQ site now.
Yeah.
So fully up and running with card printing there of chip cards and non-chip cards. So
Yeah.
that's another thing we can. It's not just non-chip cards like a driving license that we can incorporate all these security features into.
Right.
We're actively have got chip cards with these features going into them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a very good point. Nice one.
Right, Sam. We're going to turn the tables around.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you about Clear Windows because I noticed that you did a bit of marketing content on this recently on our social media platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a relatively new feature from my understanding of it. And it's definitely one that we're probably going to see more and more because it's such a quick and easy way, similar to the UV, where you're equipping somebody with, something that fits in your pocket, just a simple laser, basically. What it is a space on the card that it might look completely transparent, but when a laser is shone through it, it reveals a specific design. And again, this can be as intricate as you like. I've even seen ones where the design moves as you pass the laser across it. So it would be almost like a 3D image, and in this case, it was a little cube, and basically it rotated as you moved the light, which was it was a really cool thing to see. But the fact that that could now be applied to a security document is, again, it's another one of those layers that is going to make it so hard for someone with bad intentions to replicate.
Yeah, 100%. I really agree with you there. And it's a relatively new capability that Ingenia have got to the arsenal.
Yes.
Within the last 18 months or so, and we're super happy to be able to offer it as part of our portfolio of layered security features.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just if you're applying that to a card and you combined it with 3 of the other things that we've talked about here, not only is someone going to be able to immediately tell if a card is fraudulent because it's going to mismatch what it's supposed to be, but also the production of that. The chances of somebody having the capabilities and the equipment to produce 3 of these features all at once is going to be, at almost 0.
And the transparent sections of the card can also then incorporate more printing within the transparent sections.
That's true. Yeah. You can apply more designs to that part that won't even affect the sort of the laser as it goes through.
Sort of miniature portraits and holographic effects and tiny little fine lines can be printed within the already small transparent window screen printed.
It's a very small space.
And I mean, that layered security approach of like OVI, Microtext, color shifting inks, and a clear window is going to be one seriously secure card.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
And we can do it in a variety of different shapes and sizes. We can do ovals, circles, squares, rectangles. We can even make it replicate I think you touched on it earlier, but some of our customers have had it in the shape of the country as well.
Yes.
So that's something that's really, really cool feature. And we can just supply like an oval window transparent with nothing printed inside it, so that can actually be then printed on at the laser printing stage. So say you passed your driving test in a country, you would get your card in the post. You'd have your picture on, but I've seen it where you get a miniature picture within the transparent window as well. So it's like even more secure again.
And again, it's just even more personalized as well. That's going to be completely unique to that card.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe we're just card geeks, but when you get your card through the post, if you need to renew your driving license or you've lost it and need a new one, it's always a nice experience getting it out, getting that OVI lamp out, examining the features, clear windows.
It's just fun to see.
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully, like, even if you're not in the industry and you're watching this can sort of
Yeah, you can
recalibrate
do it yourself.
recalibrate your mindset on how secure that document is.
Right, and Roscoe. So that brings us to the end of our lists here. We've covered all the security features we wanted to today, but just something else that's worth touching on before we wrap this episode up is, of course, as you've mentioned a little bit, the awareness training. So we're talking about the information that goes hand in hand with these features that basically makes them as secure as they are. So when you talk about what we offer to our customers in regards to that training and how without it, it renders things useless, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say training is equally as important as what we're doing at the manufacturing process.
Right.
And you can have all the security features in the world, you can have everything we've talked about, but it's only as good as the people that are looking for it.
Sure.
And that's why training is really important. And reception staff, security officers, and police officers, people that are on the doors, they need to be aware of these things. You don't need to be like forensic examiners to be able to do it, but if they're equipped with like a UV torch, check the invisible UV, they know to check the hologram, look out for fake holograms that are flat, that lack like movement, and too shiny.
Sure.
And for those clear windows as well. Those if they're educated about OVI, optically variable inks, and that is just something that Ingenia can provide, that training for people. We don't mind going to site. We fly people around the world to train, and we can do it over virtual means now as well. And it just gives our customers that peace of mind that we don't just stop at when the cards leave our factory.
Absolutely.
We are there for them 24/7. We're obviously spanning. We're a global presence now, so someone's always in the time zone to help.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think when we talk about these checks, they're quick. It doesn't take up a lot of time. Verifying a card is not going to take you hours. Like we're talking less than a minute to give these things a once over if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and so many things so many applications for these are evolving. So take a student card. A few years ago, was just something to gain access to the university or college.
Sure.
Now those cards give them access to, or allow them or disallow them access to all around the campus, don't they?
Right.
Might not let them into certain buildings. It might let them into a building across the way there, and it's even like a way of payment for them now, isn't it? For meals and other shops and things like that. So It's gone from just a sort of low technology dumb card to one with a chip in it, and it's much more secure. It's more expensive, and the stakes are higher. They don't want students going where they please. So that's where we've seen a really good application of where we've been able to educate the people that are on the front desk to look out for these features, and either grant them access or deny them access because the stakes are higher.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this is a nice sort of segue off of that, as far as convenience and student cards or something as relatively low impact compared to maybe a national ID. The digital conversation, digital credentials, especially identities. I think we're still a way off from those things being as secure as what we're talking about here today. Obviously, on a digital credential, you can't apply any of these features. So when we're talking about it, does the convenience outweigh the security risk, or in your opinion, do you think that digital is got a way to go before it's a viable solution in this arena?
I think digital has been a big thing for the last 5 years plus, hasn't it? And where people thought it was going to take off, it hasn't. It has taken off, but it hasn't taken off at the rate that we expected. And obviously, in some sectors, like gift cards and loyalty cards and things like that, it has really taken off quickly. But I don't think it's quite there security feature wise yet.
No.
You can't incorporate all of these multiple layered security into a digital pass, can you?
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah, so that's why we think that there's going to be the card is going to be around for many years. Yeah, there's going to be a hybrid identity system, I think, where
Yes.
they have both, whether that's the card to let them in, the main entrance, and then digital maybe in some other areas of access. But I mean, I think you were showing me recently that how easy it is to replicate like a digital pass.
Yeah.
For at a distance, it looks the same
Yeah.
as my actual digital pass that we were comparing.
This is it. And again, all I did was take a couple of features and just give them a little tweak in Photoshop.
Yeah.
You know, it took a few minutes of my time, and I had something that was as comparable to the real thing.
Yeah. I mean, we had my face saying that I was Sam Davies.
Yeah.
And no one would have really known.
No.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's, again, goes back to that training, that awareness. What are you looking out for? There's less to look for on a digital pass, and therefore it simply can't be considered as secure, especially if we're talking on a national ID scale. It's it's not a substitute by any means.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a side note, but it's something that we take so seriously as well. As seriously as the manufacturing is the training, and we're there every step of the way for after sales support. It's all within our package that we offer.
Absolutely. Well said, Roscoe. I mean, thank you very much for all of your time today. It's been great to have you on the show, and obviously you've got some fantastic insights. I think the audience is going to love some of what we've managed to cover here today. So thank you very much for joining us. For those of you watching, make sure that you don't miss out on future episodes. Hit that subscribe button, and keep following us on LinkedIn for all the updates coming out of Ingenia. We'll have plenty more for you coming soon. Is there anything else that you'd like to sign up with, Roscoe?
No, it's been a pleasure to be on the show, and thanks very much for hosting me.
No trouble.
And hopefully you'll invite me back again in the future.
I'm sure when we can get it on that diary.
Excite the masses.
Brilliant stuff, mate. Thank you very much.